This G4 thing is bizarre. It's never not been bizarre. I would encourage you guys to watch my previous video on this very topic. What happened? G4 TV is something that a lot of us, I don't want to say grew up on, but it was something that Tech TV days and all that, G4 TV, stuff that we watched. It had us. It was like our space for the nerds. And they cover video games and nerd cultural stuff. And they made a return. And it has not been going good. They didn't get off to a good start. They had a host by the name of Frosk, who had said some very interesting things right out the fucking gate. And that probably turned a lot of people off. I don't think we had to say probably. I think that's just what the data has shown us. It seems like they also may have been view botting, on Twitch, and they were called out. Big shout out to Ryan for kind of connecting the dots there. And since then, their viewership has been not even really better than mine. And I just recorded the studio in my house. See what it is and what it always was. Well, since its return, is overproduced trash. And I called this. And it didn't need to be some sort of guru to understand that this was going to happen. It was simple. They were entering into a space that was already dominated for it. Their model worked for cable TV. Their model worked before YouTube was kind of able to be accessed by everybody regardless of where they were at. That model made sense. But now, because they tried to enter a space, and so many people have tried to do this. You've seen Hollywood folk come to this space and utterly fail because it's not real. And people know that you're not real, and your shit may be well produced, overproduced, one would argue, but it's not authentic. And now, because people have been accustomed to seeing people that are authentic, just regular themselves, covering the same thing that it is that you are, right? Why would you need to watch a G4 review? Frost tells you she don't even fucking play the goddamn games that she'll do a review on half the goddamn time, when they can just watch a streamer that they know is playing the game give a full review, and it can be in long form, telling you the bits and details, and it'll be informative, it'll look good, and all of that. It was a model that was always a recipe for disaster, but they were trying to sell you on this sort of nostalgia of overproduced trash in LA. And I believe it was it Comcast that was the reason that it got revived? But in this effort, which again doesn't make fucking any sort of sense, and we'll read what happened. But there was a switch. So the G4 TV channel was this one, right? It still is youtube.com/G4TV. But they changed it to the X-Play channel. And then they changed the G4 TV channel to they changed the X-Play channel to the G4 TV channel. This is a lot of people that can allude to why the fuck they did that. Is it algorithm reasons? Because the original G4 TV one wasn't, I'm not going to say, for how well produced this shit is, it's not seeing the viewership that should warrant such a thing. So you go look at some of their views, they're not doing any better than I am. In fact, I'd argue that, not argue, look at these, I'm doing better than them, right? But their stuff is well produced. They got their studio, they're doing their thing or whatever. So they switched that, and then they did some post here, and it's the G4 channel updates. And this is what they said. You typed, we read, and now we're making some changes. When G4 launched, it said, we made a commitment to building this network with our audience, which is funny because they turned a bunch of their audience off. So that's always funny to fucking me. And they said, and a try and see approach to putting awesome content everywhere you watch. We saw how wild everyone went when we finally brought Scott, the Wise, to G4 and heard your calls for more Cassandra cameos. Today, that means doing some RE5 style inventory management. So we've been busy behind the scenes optimizing each G4 platform, and the changes are a direct reflection of the work. By the way, there was some show that Frost was on G4 that seemed to get canceled. Looks like nobody was watching that shit. We're very excited to unveil this new look in collaboration with our friends at YouTube, still working with YouTube, and believe this revamped channel curation will make finding G4 content on the platform easier. Nah, something funky is going on. It's some under the table. Let me read that sentence one more time. In collaboration with our friends at YouTube, and believe this revamped channel curation will make finding G4 content on the platform easier. I would like you guys, and I'll do it as well, keep an eye on what their numbers do post this switch. Just keep an eye on it. If something is out of pocket, then you know it's some smoke and mirrors. Let's say that. Here are some adjustments you may notice. G4 channel that currently holds all the sweet X-Play VODs. Reviews will become the new X-Play channel. Link to the new X-Play channel. So it says link to the new X-Play channel incoming. As in, like, it's not there yet, or was that like an outline that the intern forgot to put in there? But yeah, as it stands right now, the X-Play channel is G4, like I mentioned, and the G4 channel is now X-Play. So they're getting more partnerships, which I don't know how they justify that spending. And that's essentially it. Something funky's going on. It just doesn't make any sense. Look, they're not getting their money back. I can tell you that they're not getting a return investment on G4 TV. There's no fucking way. When you look at their viewership across any platform, when you consider how they're going to be paying all this money to have all these creators and all that stuff in their space, and I can tell you that much, I make a solid amount off of fucking YouTube, right? I couldn't afford to have all these full-time employees just making YouTube content like they do in that studio, big ass studio that they have in LA. They're not getting a return investment, period. There's no fucking way they're getting a return investment. So now we have to think, now look, they may be done, and this may be the last Hail Mary. Like, all right, we're going to switch it up. We don't work with YouTube. Maybe they'll give us a favorable algorithm boost now that we're changing shit up. I don't know. But if that's the case, then yeah, we got some smoke and mirrors situation. And they've been allegedly doing some stuff like that before. But let's keep an eye on it, what's going on in the future, because that doesn't even make sense. Now, look, people rebrand, do whatever they want all the time before a company that just came back and of that stature, that makes no sense. So we'll see. You just listened to a clip from my podcast, For Canon's Sake, which is live throughout the week at 12 p.m. Central on youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. Be sure to check out my website, ericdjuly.com, so you can stay up to date with everything it is that I'm doing. You can also become a member and get access to a bunch of cool perks and exclusive content, which includes a social media hub where you can interact with myself and other members. It even has an app that you can get, which is now live in the Google and Apple stores.